Yeah, for sure. We would have liked to have seen that earlier in the game, for sure. Even off of misses early in the game, we've actually been a pretty decent team playing early off, defensive rebounds, and we just didn't have a way about us that just demonstrated a sense of urgency and, being hard to play against, and playing with pace, fly up the floor, get into your action quick. For whatever reason that was absent until those last 5 minutes, and the sense of urgency was there, which certainly appreciate, you know, the, the ability to do that and secure a win. We really would have sucked, to not get a dub. But obviously we got to be better.
Yeah, any of the players, what happened in the last 5 minutes to turn this around?
I think kind of what you said, like we started relying on our defense. We were really pressuring. We had a lot of deflections and steals, just really pressuring them. And just staying calm. I think we've always been really resilient, this team, even when we're down. I mean, it's crazy. We were down, 15 with 4 or 6 minutes left?
5 minutes ago.
5 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an easy thing to overcome, but I never felt like thought that we were going to lose or discombobulated or pointing the finger. We just went out there. We said we have to get a stop. We need to cut it by this time. We need to get deflections. We need to get kills. And so really just focus us more. But like Coach said, that's something that we need to do the whole game and not just when we're getting desperate at the end.
Through the Jessica TV, Feast talked about resiliency last. You just did again. Is that what the key was tonight in this fourth quarter? Is this taking it to an extreme?
Yeah, I mean, we were down by a lot. We just had to chip away. But I think we all just believe in each other, and we've been in situations like this before. But we just believe in each other so much. So, like we said, we knew it wasn't over until the buzzer rang. So just keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and it turned out in our favor.
And you guys stepped in a couple of big shots late. I think that drive you split, was it 4 defenders, I think, there for that layup?
Oh, it was? Yeah, I don't know. Coach wants me to get my feet in the paint, so that's what I did.
This team, a 4-0 start. I mean, granted, it's 4 games, but how pleasing is it to be 4-0?
After tonight, not really pleased. Really, really pleased. I think, certainly it was our goal, right, to be good coming out of training camp. We just still have a long way to go, right? And so to be 4-0 and feel like we've got to really start shoring some things up. I think we learned a lot in the 4 games. I think that's what's been really valuable, and to do it while you're winning is obviously a plus.
Coach, what does it say to just have BC and Courtney go 2 for 22, but you still grind out a win? Just talk about the depth on this team and what you guys did, especially in the last 5 minutes, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say it's great that he can go get 33 for you when that's happening, to kind of keep us in there. That's what we do, and T picked up for Courtney, and I thought Jess picked up for Lan. And like we needed that play, and Carly hit a big 3, when it really mattered, and I think people like BC, it's what they get paid to do. They got to keep shooting.
And how important was Fee and Jessica on the boards tonight? It was pretty much a battle in the paint,
yeah.
2 rebounds, but they battled it out. Just talk about the effort you saw from both of them.
Yeah, they did. Fee's got her first double-figure rebounding game. I think 4 of them were on the offensive glass, and if you've been watching Jess, this season or anytime you watch Jess Shepard, she's going to rebound the basketball. Her toughness and her level of compete is really high, and that's exactly what this team needed today.
Jess, obviously you didn't get to play with Fee last season, but you played with her before. What was it kind of like just being up close and in that battle tonight with Fee when she's going off like she was?
I missed MV Fee over there, but no. I mean, Fee is somebody, I think she is the most consistent player in the league. Every night you know what you're going to get from her, and our team was really struggling tonight, and she just kept putting the ball in the basket when we needed baskets, and just kept us even in the basketball game. Without her today, it's a rough basketball game. So, I mean, I think just her consistency is unbelievable.
And Fee, 38 minutes tonight. We talked about it a couple times last season, but just how are you able to play, so competitive, so kind of high energy for so many minutes every night?
I feel like I always just try to do whatever the team needs me to do. I'm never thinking about I'm tired. I'm thinking about the next play and what that takes. I just try to put it all out there for the team.
And Cheryl, you guys forced 20-plus turnovers tonight. How satisfied were you with the defense tonight? And, is it starting to get a little bit more on track now that we're 4 games in?
I'd say of the 40 minutes, we played 5 of them defensively. No, we had some other kind of like solid stretches, but not enough to really do the dictating. And so I think that light bulb has to go on. And if the last 5 minutes of the game is that light bulb, that would be great. Because if we go back, sort of the other way and just let them do whatever they want to do and not be mindful of what our help should look like, or not get a rebound, it's going to be hard. Then you have to have an offensive game that's where you're terrific to win, and it's not a space we want to be in.
Teacher, talk about that zone that you were kind of in at the end of the game. A lot of people wish to be in a hot zone like that where you're hitting threes, clutch baskets. What are you going through in that mindset as far as down the stretch when you're making those, and then also how are you feeding off your team's energy too?
Yeah. Well, coming out of the huddle, we just said, we obviously down, so everybody needs to be aggressive. Obviously, Fee had a lot of pressure on her tonight, just offensively, so just trying to help her out. And then just taking what the defense was giving me and just doing what I do best and playing with pace.
Yeah, Fee, all these games are physical, but this one tonight seemed especially rugged, and there were a couple of times when you seemed really frustrated when you didn't get calls. But each time you were able to kind of snap out of it and make a play on the other end. How were you able to do that?
I don't know. I actually think I need to let it go earlier,
But she shouldn't have to do that. She shouldn't have to manage her emotions. There were a number of calls that I guarantee you put on another game tonight, and you see a post player doing that very same thing and taking the bumps. They're going to be immediately called fouls, immediately. And so, Fee should not have to accept the level of contact she accepted tonight. I thought that was just egregious from that standpoint. So. Yeah, so we're counting on Fee to be the mature person that she is to keep playing because we have no choice, right? But I thought they were awful in their what they call A to B fouls when Fee's driving and you're sliding into her, when she's turning and you're bumping her off of her spot. Those are fouls. That's not hard. So I didn't think she got a terrible whistle today, for sure. Not the reason why we were down 15 by any stretch. I don't want to let these guys think, hey, it was but it's just not right. It's not right.
And then Fee, can you just discuss the crowd tonight in that last 5 minutes?
They were amazing. It was so fun. So loud. They were like our six man out there. They were behind us the whole time. Excuse me. So it's so fun to play in an environment like that. And Lynx are famous for that. We're notoriously hard to play against on the road because it's so loud. They couldn't hear their play calls, and that's exactly what you want. So it was really fun, such a great environment, and it just makes you really proud to be able to play here.